Hercules is trending towards big. I think when I think of Hercules, I think big land package, big permits, big grades, those sorts of things. So there's a lot to get ourselves excited about.
Welcome to those tuning in to the Assay TV, where we're here at a London mining investment event, and we're joined all the way from Vancouver, Mike Allen, President, CEO and Director of StrikePoint Gold. Welcome.
Thank you very much. It's great to be here.
So you're actually quite new to the Assay. So for any unfamiliar viewers, can you just give us a little bit of overview of StrikePoint?
Sure. StrikePoint Gold is an exploration company. It's exploring for precious metals in premier jurisdictions. For us specifically, that means dominantly Nevada, where we have two projects, the Hercules Gold Project, the Cuprite Gold Project, and then in BC, we have a couple of projects as well, the Porter and Wallaby Silver projects.
Excellent. A great starting point would be your Hercules project. It's a recent acquisition. Can you talk us through some of the features of that project?
You know, Hercules is a great project. It's something that I had before in a past life, so I'm quite familiar with the asset. In a past life, I sold it for about $25 million, and then we were recently able to reacquire it back for about $250,000 Canadian. So a penny on the dollar when you don't consider currency. The things that attracted me to go back to Hercules was obviously the familiarity, and then Hercules is trending towards big. I think when I think of Hercules, I think big land package, big permits, big grades, those sorts of things. So there's a lot to get ourselves excited about.
And obviously it's very early doors at Hercules, but what's in the pipeline there? What's coming out?
It's a pre-resource project. It does have quite a bit of historical drilling on it. As I mentioned in the past life when I had it, we did quite a bit of work. I was involved with a company that put 40 holes into it. And the big thing that attracted me to go back to it was with our second phase of drilling, we cracked the code. And so to go from a raw exploration project in Nevada to going from that to a predictable gold system with significant scale, that's attractiveness, and that's attractive. And you can start to see where this is going to go. As I mentioned, Hercules has a lot of big features to it, big land package, big grade. It also features a big permit. So for investors coming into the company right now, we go through a movement in the company's valuation through the discovery part of the process, and then with that big permit, we can quickly move into delineation, and so to continue to create value for shareholders.
Excellent. Let's move on there to look at your Cuprite project. You've released some pretty exciting results from the inaugural drill program, which started earlier on in the year. Can you tell us a bit about that? Yeah,
Cuprite project is another project within the Walker Lane of Nevada. And the reason for acquiring Cuprite was it was a big steam heated alteration, forgive me, I'm a geologist, that had never been drilled. And there was another steam heated alteration cell that had never been drilled, and that led to a 16 million ounce discovery. And so seeing what that potential is, and for a very little acquisition cost, we were able to get ourselves the Cuprite Gold Project. We did a 5-hole program into it, and 4 of the 5 holes had gold in it, so significant gold in it, reportable gold. And that indicates that the whole thing is that system is mineralized. So now you've got a huge alteration cell that has got gold in it. Next logical step is where is the best grades to it. So there's going to be some work that's going to be done and some follow-up drilling that's off of that.
And it's become apparent that others are actually moving into this emergent gold district where Cuprite is located. What does this mean for the land package? What does this reflect?
Well, it's quite interesting. If you look at the maps of the Cuprite district, there was an existing claim block that was staked in the 1960s, and that was held by a third party for years. We acquired a property just to the east of that, and then staked all the way around it, essentially creating a donut hole around that existing property. What has happened since then is a third party has come in and done a deal inside of that. They knew that we were there, and they knew that we had drilled, but they still quote unquote, went into the donut hole. And so what that means for our shareholders is that as that third party explores and develops, they're kind of confined. And the only way for them to get themselves out of the donut hole is to essentially come through us. So we're open for business, obviously, and hopefully we can get a good discussion and dialogue going with those guys.
Got yourself in a very strategic position there.
Absolutely.
So you operate in Walker Lane area of Nevada. We actually hear that a lot in 121. We hear a lot of excitement about Nevada Lane. Anglo Gold Ashanti is operating there. Can you talk us through the region and what makes it exciting?
I've got a lot of history in the Walker Lane. About 15 years ago, I decided that was going to be the part of the world where I was going to specialize my career. And so I drive back and forth between Vegas and Reno and pick off properties and do deals and make value for shareholders. What has happened with Anglo Gold Ashanti is one of these never before drilled steam heated alteration zones that we were talking about. They drilled one. And very little geochemistry at surface. It looked like a big alteration system, and they took the chance and they drilled. And they made a fantastic discovery in Nevada, one of the most heavily prospected regions of the world in the 2020s. It's led to a 16 million ounce discovery. They've consolidated the district, and that actually included a property that I had in the district called the Sterling. They consolidated everything around that and are making a new discovery. I estimate that that's probably going to go to a 40 million ounce district. Think about 40 million ounces of gold being discovered in this day and age in Nevada. It's quite impressive. And what that says to me when I take a step back as a businessman, I say the Walker Lane continues to produce new significant discoveries. It's as far as Nevada goes, it's probably the least mature district as far as exploration and development goes. So that creates an opportunity. When you look at what StrikePoint has done in the Walker Lane, acquiring the Cuprite gold project because it looks exactly like silicon, we've proven that there's gold in the system, and then the acquisition of the Hercules gold project, we're actually about the fourth largest landholder in the Walker Lane in terms of claims. The big names that are in front of us are Anglo Gold, as you mentioned, and Kinross. So there's big developers that are moving into the area, and I think that you're seeing a lot of excitement for the Walker Lane. There's an arguability that sort of kickoff of the renaissance of the Walker Lane was actually started by the transaction that I did on the Sterling project. So maybe a little bit of
fame there. Certainly not a bad place to be with Anglo Gold and Kinross.
Absolutely. I mean, the discovery at Silicon is world class. There's no doubt about it, and it just goes to show what good science and good geology can do in the best mining jurisdiction in the world.
Well, just to round up this interview, just for our investors, they like a bit of a summary at the end. Can you highlight some milestones we should be looking out for in the coming months?
Well, a couple of things. We just finished a share consolidation, so that has happened. We did a 10-for-1 rollback. StrikePoint was a mature company, and when I came in, we went to Nevada, and we changed the share structure. We're just wrapping up a financing, so getting that going forward. And then what we'll be going through in the next little while is getting through making sure that we've got our drill targets lined up for Hercules, and then in 2025 we'll be out there drilling on Hercules. I also continue to look at assets. I am a geologist, so I suffer from that that need to look at for shiny things on the ground. So I continue to look for assets for the company to increase shareholder value.
Well, that's excellent. I can only thank you for sharing a minute with us today. I'm sure you're very busy, and it's been great to hear all about StrikePoint Gold.
Thank you very much for your time.